cursed opening. Okay, I just needed to stop over texting all my friends about Arcane and just let it out all in a video, because that's just too much. I need to stop. I'm just gonna put it online. All my thoughts on Arcane, because it's a brain worm. I'm having brain disease. It's not leaving my brain, it's just a bunch of noise. So I'm gonna try and stick to one topic in this, and it's a topic that I was previously bothered by circa maybe like 2 hours ago, and then I figured it out in my head. Maybe, I don't know, I don't think I actually did, but I've justified it in my head because the writers of Arcane are incredible, but I was disappointed, like many others, in this second part. The main criticism that everyone's having for this second season so far, third part hasn't released yet, it's just the second season so far, second part of the second season, third act is on Saturday, it's only Sunday. A lot of people are having doubts about the writing when it comes to how quickly Cailtyn shifted, how quickly she flipped on a dime to just side with Vi. Like, she's been built up mostly for the first 3 episodes of the second season, built up this whole time as a dictator, someone who would stop at nothing to get Jinx. And then, you know, she fumbles the moment she's with Vi. Hello?
Whatever you do, don't underestimate Ambessa.
And she also didn't kill Jinx when she had a chance. She had a much better chance to kill Jinx this time. She could have let Jinx die in that last part, that very sad last part, when Isha, you know, she could have held Vi back and not let Vi save Jinx. How did she get to this point? It felt very rushed. It gave off like, oh, she's just with Vi again. Everything feels right, you know, whatever. I'm not buying it. I don't think it's the fact that she's, you know, star-crossed lovers with Vi. I don't think that would drive someone that much. It certainly didn't drive her when she left her off at the bottom of that fucking well, whatever the fuck that was. She, just a few episodes ago, which I guess is like a year in Arcane time, was absolutely beyond reason. There was no reasoning with her, but she has had time to grieve, and we know this, but we weren't shown this because this season is happening very quickly. Still masterful, still very well done, but it is happening very quickly. So how did she switch on a dime like that? And I think it goes into, or at least how I interpret it, she talks to Vi when she plans to go against Noxus finally. She tells Vi, do not underestimate Ambessa. And I think she has not underestimated her this entire time. She knows who she's up against. Ambessa wears her war strategy on her sleeve. I don't think she is very clever and she's very manipulative, but I think Cailtyn sees that. I think she sees that very well. I think that Ambessa is the one who was underestimating Cailtyn this whole time. And I think we, as viewers, were underestimating Cailtyn. I think we need to trust the writers as much as they trust us to interpret things. And here's why I think that. I think that because she said don't underestimate Ambessa, it shows that she's aware. She's aware and she knows the warhammer that she is. And in the teaser for the next part, we see that she says, I know, when Vi confronts her about, you succumbed to everything this war pig said to you, talking about Ambessa.
How long were you sidled up with that self-serving war pig? She oinked poison in your ear and you just ate it. I know!
She knows. She knows. She's aware. I think it took her a while to get there, and I think we see Ambessa underestimating Cailtyn. Weirdly enough, I don't know if this is something that every written thing in this show is intentional, so I believe this is what that is. Whenever Ambessa addresses Cailtyn to her in the room, she'll say Commander Kierman, Commander Cailtyn. To her face, she treats her with disrespect. When she's not in the room with her, when Ambessa's talking to someone else, even Singed. She just calls her Cailtyn. She does not respect her title truly. I don't think she respects her. I think she completely underestimates her. And she also says this when she's thinking she's about to kill Vi. She says, "You left a hole, a void for me to fill when you left her." Or when you weren't in her life anymore. She didn't leave her, but, you know.
The one who captured Caitlin's heart? I owe you thanks. Your absence provided a vacuum I was able to fill.
In that moment, Ambessa really believes that she's the master manipulator who uses this vulnerable girl, you know, everyone who thinks that she's just this super malleable person. She really thought that she had control of her and admitted to using a known form of manipulation by going after someone so vulnerable. I think she really showed that she thinks that she's on top of it. She showed that she thinks she's in control of Cailtyn in that moment, and when she doesn't address her with respect behind her back, she proves that she underestimates Cailtyn. And so I don't think that she just switched on a dime. I think that she had been wanting to go against Ambessa this whole time, but going back to what she said in episode 1, act 1, she talks about how her mother was right and that she shouldn't have taken on so much herself because her mom ended up suffering the consequences.
No more rogue mission. No more reckless plans. My mother was right. My arrogance led me to take on more than I could handle, and she paid the price.
And I think she learned from that. She truly learned from that and waited for someone like Vi, maybe even specifically Vi, to show up in her life again and help her, because she knows that she can't take these kind of things on, especially someone like the leader of the Noxan army, alone. But I think when she saw Vi finally, she thought, this is my chance. I think that we've all underestimated Vi with this. I think we underestimated the writers. But we really don't need to do that, because if this is it was the first time for me personally being like, I don't really like the writing here. I feel like this was rushed. But thinking about it for like more than 5 minutes, the conclusion feels more natural when you don't underestimate Cailtyn. With all of the things she's learned so far, this feels like the intellectual approach from her. And she finally has the help that she wanted. And maybe when she says, if I go after your sister alone, one of us comes back in a box, maybe that also applied to how she approaches all of her enemies going forward. She knows she can't do things alone because people will suffer. Her mother suffered. That's what I think happened there. I think we all just underestimated Cailtyn, just like Ambessa did. But she's smart. She's a really good character, and she has proven to be very adaptable. When in the first season Vi underestimated her as well, she said to her the Undercity would eat her alive. And what did she do? She adapted to everything that Vi did. She adapted to the parkour down into the lower parts of the Undercity. She adapted to the brothel that they went to. She thrived in that brothel, y'all. She's very adaptable. She's a cop. Okay, yeah. She's a fucking cop. We don't like fucking cops. But you know, I'm gonna stick with they wrote her brilliantly. Because they have this entire time, and they wouldn't just not suddenly. They wouldn't just do that. And maybe they'll go into this more. Maybe it'll be something completely left field that brought her to this. I don't know. This is what makes sense to me. And I had to get it all out because I do this with fucking every scene of Arcane with some of my friends, and I feel like they deserve a little break from that. Everything is intentional. Everything is intentional. Look into everything with Arcane. If something feels weak, then maybe you are looking at it from a weak perspective. Switch it a little bit. Think about it. Discuss it with your friends if your friends aren't getting annoyed. Okay. That's all. Thanks. Bye.